another exciting edition of First Contact Radio. How you doing? Good morning. Welcome to the show. Let's start things off with our Dream Spell 13 Moon calendar for today. Let me jump on over up. I don't have it set up here, but I will momentarily. There we go. All right. That should put us right here. Okay. Today's date on the Dream Spell calendar is Blue Solar Storm guided by the Eagle. Blue Solar Storm guided by the Eagle. The blue is the color of transformation. The solar tone is tone number 9. It's called the solar tone of intention. The storm is the 19th symbol, and the storm is a gathering of energy that's about ready to go out there and unleash itself. And the eagle is all about vision. Blue solar storm guided by the eagle. We are on the 11th day of the spectral moon. 11th day of the spectral moon. That's the 11th moon. So 11th day, 11th moon. The phrase for today is I pulse in order to catalyze, realizing energy. I seal the matrix of self-generation with the solar tone of intention. I am guided by the power of vision. On the Gregorian calendar, it is Thursday, May 12th, 2011. I hope you are doing well out there in the world, wherever you are today. A lot of challenges we're facing, my friends. A lot of challenges down here, and the challenges seem like they're escalating. We have a big challenge ahead of us if everything is unfolding in the way that people seem to think it is unfolding. We're going to get more into that in a bit. I'm going to jump to Dirk Bradshaw, who's got some news and information about what you can do to be prepared. Dirk, over to you.
Next up on the Cosmic News Network, the Cosmic News with Dirk Bradshaw.
Flying high above the planet Earth, this is the Cosmic News with Dirk Bradshaw. Brought to you by CosmicNewsNetwork.com. Okay, so we put bygones aside and decided to give a job to Stephen Hawking, who, Dr. Stephen Hawking. I'm sorry, so sorry, Stephen. Dr. Stephen, sir. And give him a job here at the Cosmic News Network, reporting on the news. He's going to be taking over for me for a couple of days, and then maybe be doing the first part of the Cosmic News, where we do the breaking news. That should be pretty exciting. So tonight, breaking news with Dr. Stephen Hawking.
Thank you, Dirk. Good day, I am Dr. Stephen Hawking. With the Cosmic News, we start tonight with NASA is planning to build hypersonic jets that will fly through the Earth's atmosphere and slash flight times around the world to a few hours at most. The U.S. Space Agency wants to manufacture a craft that would travel at 5 times the speed of sound and bring in a new age of aircraft akin to a turbocharged Concorde. On the topic of NASA, the mission is to boldly go where no man has gone before. On a flight to Mars. The snag is that you'd never come back. The U.S. Space Agency NASA is actively investigating the possibility of humans colonizing other worlds such as the Red Planet in an ambitious project that it would be too costly to make the return trip. And finally, when Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young sang Teach Your Children, do you think they meant to instruct students on how to properly investigate UFO crashes? Well, that seems to be a trend in some UK schools, where UFO drills have been periodically staged over the past 2 years, according to Dateline Zero. In a typical drill, a UFO crash incident is created, and police arrive to show 8 to 10-year-old pupils how to handle such a scenario, which includes gathering wreckage, and the students are encouraged to share and write about the experience. Well, that is it for me. I am Dr. Stephen J. Hawking, for the Cosmic News. Don't do what I can't do.
You know, the recession is not over yet. And if you're like me, you're always looking for something to do with the family that's not going to cost a lot of money. But how about this? How about something for free? That's right. Over 3,000 things to do for free. All right, well, I got your attention. Now, I'm going to tell you about a website here in Los Angeles called freeinla.com that does exactly that. It has over 3,000 things to do free in Los Angeles. You just go on the calendar, click on a date, and I guarantee you there will be something to do for free here in Los Angeles. Freeinla.com asks you, what are you doing tonight? This is an urgent message. The state of our world is in a dire situation. And looking at current events happening in Europe, the massive strikes of Europe may not be as far off as we'd like to think. People have this cozy feeling that it can't happen to us. It can. The USSR fell overnight. There weren't any warnings of collapse. It just happened. This information you're about to hear is not fear-mongering, but a presentation of world events and how things are changing before our eyes. Our retirement age has just increased. Pensions cut, lost. Social Security cut. It can all happen. Please make a plan for your family in case things do get rough. Use current information to make rational plans for the unwelcome future of potential chaos. The time is now to prepare, and it is up to you.
Greek debt right
Would
now?
I buy what?
Greek debt right now.
No, I'm not interested in government or sovereign debt because I think that all governments will eventually default, including the U.S.
What?
All governments.
All governments.
Today, financial conditions remain stressed, and many households and businesses are finding credit difficult to obtain. Nevertheless, on net, the past few months have seen some notable improvements.
Bernanke cited growing confidence in financial markets and an uptick in consumer spending. Despite some positive signals, he says the unemployment rate is likely to remain high until 2011, slowing the recovery.
The use of riot control agents and/or less lethal munitions, which could cause risk of injury to those who remain. No matter what your purpose is, you must leave. If you do not disperse, you may be arrested and/or subject to other police action.
And that's why we're dedicating this year to a lot of things, but our number one emphasis is going to be creating jobs.
We must focus on job creation and do it now. We must use every legislative tool we have available to create good-paying jobs for American workers.
And that's what we're doing here today with this agenda. Our leader has wisely called it an agenda. We will move immediately on some issues, and then we will keep going on different issues as we go through the year, but with a laser-like focus on jobs, because that's what the American people want and need.
Most of the domestic groups that we have to pay attention to here are white supremacist groups. They're anti-government, in most cases anti-abortion. They are usually survivalist type in nature, identity-oriented, Christian identity-oriented.
And we're in trouble because of the activities in Washington. They have taught us not to trust them. The Democrats have taught us not to trust the Republicans, and the Republicans have taught us not to trust the Democrats, and so we didn't. And then we realized, oh my gosh, they're both lying to us. They don't actually stand for a single principle. And so now what happens? Well, now you cling to that boomstick and you worship your sky god. Well, listen up. Here's who's growing. A government has done a study now to help authorities identify domestic terrorists. See if any of these potential warning signs seem familiar. The report was put together by the Missouri Information Analysis Center. It warns that militia members most commonly associate with third-party political groups. They may display Constitutional Party, Campaign for Liberty, or libertarian material. Militia members are, quote, usually supporters of Ron Paul or Chuck Baldwin or Bob Barr. A motivation for militia activity, according to the government now, is the anticipation of the economic collapse of the U.S. government. Uh-oh.
The Obama administration's acknowledged it's continuing a Bush-era policy authorizing the killing of U.S. citizens abroad. The confirmation came from Director of National Intelligence Dennis Blair in congressional testimony last week. Blair told the House Intelligence Committee U.S. forces can assassinate Americans believed to be involved in terrorist activity against the United States. Blair said, quote, being a U.S. citizen will not spare an American from getting assassinated by military or intelligence operatives overseas if the individual is working with terrorists and planning to attack fellow Americans. He added, we don't target people for free speech. We target them for taking action that threatens Americans.
Now, coming back to the United States, it sounds like the stuff of spy movies. If you have a cell phone, guess what? The FBI can track your whereabouts. They don't even need a search warrant or probable cause. Now, privacy groups are up in arms about it, and the Justice Department is defending the practice in court today. Here to talk about it with us is Declan McCullough, editor of CNET. Thanks so much for being with us. Now, I don't think most people even know that cell phone companies are keeping records of cell phone users' whereabouts. But privacy groups are up in arms about this over constitutional violations. The Obama administration, though, is arguing that warrantless tracking is permitted because Americans don't have an expectation of privacy in their cell phones' whereabouts. Who do you think has the better case here?
It's impossible to predict the time when confidence will be lost, but it can come quickly. Resorting to buying other paper currencies will not be of much help. When the dollar crashes, most likely the purchasing power of all currencies, since all currencies hold dollars as a reserve, will go down as well. This means that dollars and other currencies will go into buying consumer items, precious metals, and other physical properties. Consumer prices will soar, as well as interest rates. The central bank will lose control, and the more they inflate, the worse the confidence becomes. The interest rates will respond to these efforts by rising sharply. If the Fed tries to reverse the run on the dollar, interest rates will also soar, and the pain on the American citizens will be of such proportion that political chaos will result. Either scenario leads to political and social chaos, the third event, and the most dangerous.
Back to the question, with the coming official dollar devaluation, it would seem logical that large and small banks would need to have sufficient quantities of the new dollars in storage prior to the event. Is it possible that this type of info could be leaked by insiders as we get closer to it?
Well, that's a good example of what I'm talking about. We broke that story 2 weeks ago, and banks are being told, and I get this right from people who are at the top of the banking profession, not with major banks, but with top middle-sized banks. And they go to the Fed meetings, and they tell me what goes on. And they told me that the Fed told the banks to clear safe, secure storage because we're getting ready to print new currency. And it's not an Amero, it's a dollar, but probably a different one from what you have already. So to answer your question, it's underway. And it may not be in the printing stage yet, but the plans are there.
First, the U.S. has been adding fluoride to its public water supply for decades, and that's, of course, to prevent tooth decay. Well, now researchers from Japan are suggesting that we add lithium. So why is that?
Well, they're actually not suggesting it, but they're certainly looking into it. Lithium is a medication that in prescription doses treats mood disorders in people with bipolar disorder or manic depressive illness. And what these researchers found in Japan is that lithium is present in trace amounts in the normal water supply in some communities. And in those communities, they have a lower suicide rate. And so they're really investigating whether trace amounts of lithium can just change the mood in a community enough to really, in a positive way, without having the bad effects of lithium, to really affect the mood and decrease the suicide rate. Very interesting concept. You know, it's the same reason why we put iodine in salt, fluoride in water. There's many different examples of where we put trace amounts of chemicals in the normal supply of food or water to help people's health.
Oh, man, I can't believe it's over. Where does the time go? Well, I see the fat lady's off the stage. She's looking right at me. It's time for me to go put her to bed. I hate goodbyes. So instead I'm going to say, until we meet again, I'm Dirk Bradshaw for the Cosmic News. Wake up.
What if our government was responsible for some of the greatest crimes against this nation? Would you really want to know? These are big questions, but these questions deserve answers. It's time to demand the truth.
People should not be afraid of their governments. Governments should be afraid of people.
9/11 was an inside job. Kennedy was killed by the CIA. Jimmy Carter saw a UFO. Answers to secrets you need to know. So wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up. The evidence is overwhelming. Step past your fear, take a look. Illuminati lies keep growing. What they're losing from your eyes. And wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up. What would our founding fathers say if they were alive today? Must be turning in their graves. Redcoats are coming, Big Brother's watching. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up. One if by land and two if by sea, and I on the opposite shore will be ready to ride and spread the alarm through every Middlesex village and farm. Whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or abolish it. When a long train of abuses and usurpations, pursuing invariably the same object, evinces a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty to throw off such government and to provide new guards for their future security. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Patriots arise. It's time to demand the truth.
This is the UFO News with Joshua Poet.
All right, Dirk, thank you very much. This is the UFO News. I am Joshua Poet. Let's see what we've got for today. Over at the Examiner, this is an article by Roger Marsh. Arc of Light videotaped over Ashburn. Virginia breaks into two formations. A group of Ashburn, Virginia witnesses watched and videotaped an arc of light that hovered and then broke into two separate, small, bundled formations with a bright light separating the two, according to May 11, 2011 testimony from the Mutual UFO Witness Reporting Database. The witness noticed people in the work parking lot already watching the lights. I looked up and was amazed to see an arch of lights in the sky, obviously flying crafts of some kind, the reporting witness stated. I first thought they were planes, being that Dulles Airport is about 8 miles away. I asked if anyone had a video camera or a phone, as mine was out of the batteries. There were 2 short videos shot. One of them is attached. The other I am waiting to get from someone else that was there. The video can be played from this page. That's at theexaminer.com. And the object broke up into 2 sections. I stayed for another 3-4 minutes watching it on. Then the arc broke into 2 separate small bundled formations with bright lights separating the 2 lights. They were white, and the center light appeared to be changing colors from reddish to white. I watched this for about 5 more minutes and got into my car to go home. One thing that I noticed was that there was no air traffic in the sky. The reporting witness is a former Marine and speculates that it may have been a military training or helicopter's information, but was something he had never seen. Ashburn is in Loudoun County, Virginia, population 43,511. The incident occurred May 9, 2011. The above quotes were edited for clarity. And then it says Virginia is a current UFO Alert 5 rating with a low number of UFO sightings nationally. GhostTheory.com, 3 new UFO sightings. You be the judge. Apparently April-May has been a busy time for UFOs and aliens. I just happened to find these 3, yes, count them, 3 latest sightings within 5-minute span. The first is what appears to be a fairly large saucer over Kazakhstan. Of course, whenever the video starts the same as it finishes, well, you get the shtick here. I am, of course, not going to scream hoax, as that's the job of you readers. Number 2, well, let's take a look at this. Alright. That's a big ship there. And is that real? Don't know. You know, in some ways that kind of reminds me of the image that was shown when, what was it? The landing. It's an old Air Force footage of a landing at Holloman Air Force Base. Kind of looks a little bit like that. I don't know if these mountains in the background give it away or not as being someplace else, but that's what that's supposed to be. It says number 2 is over the beautiful Hawaiian Islands in what looks to be the early evening again. I'm not going to label it either way, but those lights look a bit strange, and I don't mean in a natural way. Alright, let's see what we got here. Oh, these were the lights over Hawaii. Now, I was watching this with a friend of mine, and we were looking at this, and there was some speculation and discussion that it looked like these lights were forming out letters of some sort. So if anybody's looking at this video and checking it out, you can go to ghosttheory.com. You might want to just see if you can, determine if they are spelling anything out. That might be quite interesting to see. And finally, our number 3 videos from the Netherlands. This one's a bit more interesting, though it's difficult to tell if the UFO is even moving. At one point, it just looks like dirt or an insect in the window, but before it seems squared off and more geometric. Okay, let's look and see what we got here. Alright, oh yeah, this kind of is a long thing. It's kind of... yeah, it's way out there, okay. Most interesting. Alright, well, there you have it, kids. This should keep you busy, or not. You can't blame me, I'm crazy, ask anyone. Alright, I'm going to put these up so you can watch them up at our YouTube channel. And last here we have UFO sightings increasing in Asia, with UK and FBI alien files confirming the trend. Brays Point, Oregon. Talk of regular UFO sightings at the Pacific Ocean vantage point here at the very edge of Oregon's coast at Bray Point seem to wrap around us like water around a rock, states members of a UFO Oregon Watcher group who's flying high with new once top secret British FBI files that showcase drawings of a family friend, Kenneth Arnold, who on June 24, 1947, reported seeing 9 brilliantly bright objects flying across the face of Mount Rainier. My uncle was a close friend of Kenneth Arnold, and he stated our family's interest in UFOs, said Brad, a regular watcher at Bray Point, who, thanks to recently released British government UFO documents and new revelations that the FBI kept UFO files in something they dubbed the Vault, reveal that a local Pacific Northwest pilot named Kenneth Arnold spotted what the Brits and the FBI now confirm is an actual UFO sighting. Moreover, the conservative Wall Street Journal has now joined the British government and the FBI in confirming that UFO sightings have increased recently throughout Asia. The May 6th Wall Street Journal reports stated that suspicious UFOs have shut down airports in China, buzzed resorts in Borneo, and lit up the sky in Myanmar. The story is number 8 in an occasional series of reports about what the secret British UFO files contains and what new information these documents reveal. Arnold's sighting in 1947 mirrors period of 60-plus years that U.S. and FBI held UFO files. Some 60 to 65 years after UFO sightings that were then covered up, it's now known that documented and recently released British government UFO documents, and also with the revelation that the FBI kept UFO files in something dubbed the Vault, that people such as Kenneth Arnold were dismissed as UFO nuts. Brad, who's admittedly proud of his family's connection to the famous UFO spotter, notes that the Kenneth Arnolds of the world were once viewed as spreading a hoax about UFOs, but it's no lie. Although many UFO websites view any information that doesn't originate from them as a hoax, even in this day and age, when the Brits, the FBI's, and other mainstream sources of reliable information state that UFO sightings are not a hoax, there still needs to be a worldwide announcement that they are here, they've been here, and we need to deal with alien life amongst us. In turn, Brad points out that Kenneth Arnold's UFO sighting, now part of the once top-secret UFO files, are now in the public domain. The FBI report states that on June 24, 1947, while flying his private plane near Mount Rainier, Washington, American businessman Kenneth Arnold reported seeing 9 brilliantly bright objects flying across the face of Mount Rainier. Mount Rainier is a massive live volcano at an elevation of 14,411 feet, located a few hundred miles up the coast from Brace Point. Note the accompanying photo with the story from May 11, 2011 shows Arnold holding a picture of a drawing of a crescent-shaped UFO he saw in 1947. Where's this picture? There's a picture right here. Okay, I see. Oh, that was him in holding up that. All right. Very good. These stories will all be up at our page over there at First Contact Radio in a bit when I'm done with the show here. Get that all posted for you. That's our UFO news for today. You gotta pay attention, folks. Something's going on now. In this regard, let me share a thought. UFOs are very real. They've been taking place. I've told you my story. You've heard Dirk's story. You've heard other stories. You're not alone on this planet. There are many beings down here from other worlds, here for many different reasons, primarily to assist with what is taking place. We're about to go through a big change right here on this planet. There are alien beings, as you would call them, paying attention, observing what's taking place. There are those who are going to assist in the process. However, there are also planned holographic images that are going to be shown to you by the government, getting you to think that something is going on that might not be going on, perhaps an invasion. Remember, it's the United States military and the governments that want to shoot at these aliens. Aliens aren't shooting back. Think about that one. We're not in any threat, my friends. That's the word, that's the information that's out there. It's only the military and the government that want you to believe that. Lead with love, my friends. Lead with love, and you'll find out that there are those in the universe that do exactly the same thing. Let me jump to a song. I'll be right back in a few moments.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum. Oh, shit. Underground is where they live. In the bases that are secrets here.
to know where they come from or where they go. And if you ask our leaders today, this is what they will say. I can neither confirm or deny. I can neither confirm or deny. I can neither confirm or deny. What's up with their lives? Plausible deniability. That's their answer to all we think we see. So pay attention, read between the lines. Changes are happening, revealing lies. And if you ask our leaders today, this is what they will say. I can neither confirm or deny. I can neither confirm or deny. I can neither confirm or deny. What's up with their lies? Underground where they live, in the bases that are secretive. We're not supposed to know where they come from or where they go. And if you ask our leaders today, this is what they will say. I can neither confirm or deny. I can neither confirm or deny. I can neither confirm or deny. What's up with their lives? I can neither confirm or deny. They can neither confirm or deny.
Alright, I'm back. I am back. I am back. Alright, where are we going to go from here? Well, let's find out, shall we? Alright, we're going to jump over to 9/11 for a minute. Dr. Bob Bowman, very influential figure out there in the world, in the military world. He's been around for quite some time, and here he is with architects and engineers talking about what happened on 9/11. What happened on 9/11? Of course, it was an inside job, you know that, right? This is just more proof for those who need to have the proof. Here we go. Listen to this. Dr. Bowman, Lieutenant Colonel, Aeronautical and Nuclear Engineer, an interview with the upcoming A&E Truth documentary.
I'm Dr. Bob Bowman, Lieutenant Colonel, United States Air Force, retired. Flew 101 combat missions in Vietnam and directed all the DoD Star Wars programs under Presidents Ford and Carter. My PhD is in aeronautics and nuclear engineering from Caltech. I did my postdoctoral work at the von Karman Institute in Brussels, Belgium, in finite element analysis. I taught at 5 colleges and universities, serving as department head and assistant dean. Finite element analysis is the solution of complex physical problems using advanced mathematics, things like turbulent flow or structural failure. I first became aware that there was a problem with the government's official conspiracy theory on 9/11 that very morning when I was watching what was happening on television, and my wife says I kept saying over and over, where are the interceptors? And then, of course, when the first of the towers actually started falling down, I just said, this can't happen. It can't happen. And then the other tower came down, and I said, this violates the laws of physics. It can't happen. Those aircraft and those fires could not cause those buildings to come down in that way. So I guess I was a very early skeptic. And then, of course, the coup de grace for me was when I found out that Building 7 had collapsed later that day. And when I saw Building 7 come down, to me, Building 7, the fact that its collapse was announced prematurely by the BBC and CNN, and just seeing it come down in what for all the world looks like a perfect controlled demolition of an intact building, I mean, that's what I call a smoking gun. And you put all these things together, and it is absolutely obvious to me that we've been lied to, that the government's official story is physically impossible, and that's why we absolutely need a new investigation of 9/11. You know, I signed that petition for architects and engineers for 9/11 Truth some time ago because as an engineer, and I have 3 degrees in engineering, I know that the government story is an absolute lie. Totally convinced of it. There's a lot of people trying to convince me that the government story is the truth, and they don't come close. I fully agree with what you guys are saying, and the evidence that you have come up with over the last several years about the thermite and the speed of collapse and all the details just clinch it, should clinch it for just about anybody, certainly does for me. The architects and engineers for 9/11 Truth have collected evidence from a number of sources that prove conclusively, as far as I'm concerned, that there was controlled demolition on that morning with those 3 buildings. Now, everybody is probably pretty familiar with that evidence, the free fall speed of the buildings, and in particular the thermite in the dust from all 3 of the buildings. There's no question but that those things could not happen because of aircraft hitting a building and fires. We know we've been lied to about 9/11. We don't know for sure who did it. We don't know exactly how they did everything. And that's why we need a new investigation to find out. But in the meantime, there are things we do know. We do know that there was a massive cover-up, that there was evidence hidden and destroyed. The American people absolutely need the truth of 9/11.
Absolutely do. Absolutely do. That was interviewer Richard Gage, AIA. You can find out more. Go to AE911Truth, AE911Truth.org. I'm going to see if we can get Richard back on the show again. I'm going to make sure that gets up at our YouTube channel here. Here's a site I want to tell you about. You might want to check this out periodically. WhatDoesItMean.com. WhatDoesItMean.com. They have a number of articles up here which are pretty interesting articles. Special report from Sister Clara. What are the odds? Rip in space-time vortex. Stuff about Knights Templar. On and on and on. I mean, this is just tons of articles here, so you can read about news from all around the world. And the nice thing, when you go to sites like this, that's not a mainstream media site, you're going to get a little bit more news than what you're getting on the mainstream. The mainstream, remember, is watered down. It's watered down because the mainstream news is all run by the corporate structures. So corporate America dictates, corporate, well, not just America, but corporations around the world dictate what the media says. Unfortunately, in this day and age, that's what we have to deal with. All right, now we're going to jump ahead here. Tell you about a few things you might want to know about. RTR restoretherepublic.org. You might want to go check out that site. Let me see what we got here. This isn't too long. Let me play this for you. Hear what he's got going on. This is Gary Frenchie.
Facebook is becoming pretty draconian lately, deleting activist groups, changing their formats, disabling links, and just plain blocking posts. Now, did you hear the latest? Chris Hughes, the co-founder of Facebook, who worked directly with the 2008 Obama campaign under the direction of Joe Rospars, has recently signed on to the 2012 Obama campaign again. I mean, look, folks, it's no secret. Obama hosts town hall meetings on Facebook, and Mark Zuckerberg doesn't shy away from invitations to the White House. So if you wonder why your liberty-minded groups and posts keep disappearing, look no further than the operatives within the Obama camp who are Facebook insiders. So what are we going to do? We're going to launch an all-out offensive against Facebook. How are we going to do it? I'm going to show you how you can use your RTR.org account to spread the freedom message to all your friends on Facebook and Twitter without ever having to visit those sites again. You don't have an RTR account yet? Don't worry. I'm going to show you how to get one later in the video. Now, the fact is, Facebook is a great tool to reach the masses. That's why Obama makes it work for him. Well, I'm going to teach you how to make it work for you. So, how do you make use of your Facebook account and reach all those patriots who are hopelessly addicted and still haven't joined the RTR revolution? Well, I'm going to show you. It's a little tool that we call social DNA. Yeah, I know the name is a little creepy, and don't worry, it's not going to inject itself into you or copy your biometric makeup. Here's what it does. Facebook has a database. Facebook shares user authentication data with a company called OpenID. OpenID is a universal company that most of the top websites in the world share partitioned authentication data with. Companies like YouTube, Twitter, Yahoo, and of course Google use the service. So back to the point, our social DNA feature. It authenticates who you are against your already shared and secure credentials. So you can now log into our site with the same email and password you would use for Facebook, Google, or Twitter. All you do is click on the Facebook icon and log in. Pretty cool, huh? Well, I haven't even begun to show you the bells and whistles yet. Now, if you're a web junkie and you find yourself posting and reposting Patriot videos and links to all your social sites like Facebook and Twitter, 1, you are wasting time. 2, you are wasting energy. And 3, you are not sharing your online posts with the fastest growing online Patriot community. A community that has no ties to that stain on the Potomac, like some other connecting sites that I won't mention. Now here's the fun part. Once you link your account, you only publish the info that you want to your social sites. For example, when I post a video, it will ask me if I want to publish it to my connected sites now or every time. You can see here that I'm connected to Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Yahoo, MySpace, and some other site that I've never heard of. Now when I hit publish, voila, the video title and link go out directing your friends in your networks to come back to RTR to check it out. And guess what? They may just run into some other cool info about the freedom movement, and you're helping them further their education. Are you feeling me on this one yet? Now here's a cool bonus. If you choose auto-publish next time when you're on the run, your status updates, your links, and actions can be shared all to your networks from your Android or iPhone using our optimized mobile versions. Pretty slick, huh? All right. When it comes to attaching links in your status bar, your network friends will be taken to the link you posted. RTR.org just acts as a pass-through. Now, if your goal is getting friends to visit RTR, attaching links won't do it, but it's great for sharing links to your favorite Liberty sites and stories to your network friends. And best of all, you never have to move your cursor back to Facebook or Twitter again. Now, let's talk about groups, events, polls, photos, forums, and blogs. All these RTR site features are great for personal expression, organizing rallies or meetups, and even taking your own straw poll. The limit is only your imagination. So here is the power you possess in the palm of your hand. With a few clicks, you can create or join an event, group, or post a blog or forum topic, or even create a poll or upload a picture. That action is then published to your connected networks. I know, it's pretty cool. And anytime you want to publish it out again, all you got to do is click the share link on any of those items, and bang, you are spreading freedom, liberty, and organizing for action across all your networks at once and growing the freedom movement at the same time. But wait, there's more. You say you need to check your Facebook and Twitter walls so you can keep up with your friends who are still stuck in Zuckerberg's Obama book? Well, guess what? You can import it right into the RTR newsfeed and never look back. See, I told you RTR could do it all for you. It will even merge your Facebook and Twitter walls into one, and you can even retweet directly from RTR. Guess what else? You can even private message your friends on those networks too. And best of all, using the invite feature, you can email all your Facebook friends invitations to abandon that place and join the RTR revolution. But don't delete your Facebook or Twitter accounts just yet. You will want to keep them active because there will still be some people so hopelessly addicted they will never leave Facebook. And you can still reach them from your home base at rtr.org. So give it a shot. If you don't like it, just disconnect your accounts. It won't affect your RTR account. You've got nothing to lose. It costs nothing. And you have everything to gain, including your freedom. I'll see you outside.
All right. Very good. I'm going to make sure that this is up there, this video. This will be at our playlist for today, about an hour after the show, something like that. All right. What else? I want to just give you a little bit of information. We're getting close here to the end. Over the next couple days, what you might want to do, just keep yourself up to date. Go to Google, go to YouTube, run some searches. New Madrid earthquake, New Madrid fault line. Look for what the latest news and information is. Here, this is information.
It's the last thing people need in that flood-ravaged area. CBS News correspondent Mark Strassman is in Greenville, Mississippi. We join him now. Mark, good morning.
Good morning, Chris. The Great Mississippi flooding has a new target, the Mississippi Delta, a region that's mostly rural and low income, people least able to recover from a crisis.
What's up in there?
In Greenville, Steve Lott's house is gone, and his neighborhood's a soup of filthy floodwater.
We knew it was going to be bad, but seeing it is different. You kind of see your whole life floating there.
North of Greenville,
we love everyone from there.
Melanie Delhome is homeless. This photo shows why. Her house ruined, like all 300 homes in Tunica Cutoff. 20 feet of floodwater. And with new building codes, rebuilding is unaffordable to most residents. Tunica Cutoff could be gone for good.
We want to keep our address. Yes, it's my home.
In Mississippi alone, floodwaters have destroyed at least 800 homes. Most people will rebuild, but almost no one in Tunica Cutoff had flood insurance. So like Betty Webb, they'll have to start over somewhere else.
It's hard to face it, you know what I mean? If you hadn't been there, you just don't know.
Within Mississippi's spill zone, the state is sounding the alarm. Governor Haley Barbour is urging anyone who even has a threat of flooding to get out while they can. Chris?
Mark, with the Mississippi now bearing down on Louisiana, some worst-case estimates have some low-lying districts in New Orleans inundated with up to 25 feet of water down there. That's a worse inundation than Katrina. Can anything be done to avoid this?
Well, remember, the Mississippi, if it's allowed to run full bore through Louisiana all the way to New Orleans, The power of the river could eat away at the levees and potentially expose as many as 1 million people to flooding. So there is one option. The Morganza spillway outside Baton Rouge, it's sort of a pressure valve. If you open it up, you could divert about 1/3 of the river and all of its power into an altogether different area. But here's the issue. It would flood an entire river basin of farmers and fishermen, and that would be a truly devastating event for all those folks. So it's a very, very painful choice, and the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, a Major General with the Army Corps, may have to make that decision as soon as this Saturday, Chris.
All right, CBS's Mark transmitting.
All right, are you seeing what's going on, folks? This is a situation that is escalating. It's not getting better, okay? And it's going to continue to escalate. I'm not out here to be someone who's bringing you doom and gloom and hoping this. I hope that it all stops. But we seem to be past the point of no return on that. They've already blown the levees. They already have plans to blow more levees. And when you look into the evidence, you find out that they were making these plans to blow levees about a year ago. It was in June of 2010 when they were having their meetings about these things. So this is not a new event. This is something that has been planned for some time, my friends. What else here? We've got more information on flooding that's taking place out there. Here we have a FEMA video. Let's just zip through this. So the largest drill in America history as it began as the Great Central Shakeout begins along the New Madrid seismic zone.
To carry out their lessons. They were part of an estimated 3 million participants in 11 states. At the signal, the 20 students in Lucy Duffy's class dropped to the floor, covered their heads, and held on to table legs. U.S. Education Secretary Arnie Duncan and Homeland Security Secretary Janet Napolitano made a special visit to St. Louis to watch the drill.
So very, very impressed with the drill. We had almost 3 million school students and others participate in this just now across the country.
What I'd like to know is why only 3 million? This exercise, this Great Central drill that they were doing, Great Central U.S. Shakeout, took place on the 28th. Over 11 states. There's 64 million people in those states. Why only 3 million people? Did the rest of the people not care when they were told that there might be an earthquake on their way? Or were they not fully informed? I don't know. But that seems quite strange to me. And again, this video will be up online. You can go and check this out there on our YouTube channel in just a bit. And then we have another bit of information here about schools doing contests for vaccines, giving away an iPod if the kid will get a vaccine. I tell you, I'm definitely concerned about what's going on in the world these days, my friends. I know that times are getting challenging for everybody, but it just is amazing how asleep so many Americans still seem to be. The warnings are all over the place about the vaccines, about the earth changes, about the HARP project, about the New World Order agenda, about martial law. They're everywhere. It doesn't really take a brain surgeon to find this information. Yet so many people are ignoring this and going through life as if this is just normal. I've spoken to a number of individuals that I know that live in the Midwest, and they all don't really seem to give any credence to anything that I've said in this regard. And I have friends who have reached out to friends they have in the Midwest and the same thing. It's just very bizarre how there's this disconnect between information and what people understand as information. The only thing seem to be believed is what comes out of the mainstream news channels, the ones that are run by the corporate America, corporate media. Those are the ones that people believe, and yet time and time again they've been shown to be lying. So it's very bizarre. We truly are in some sort of end time scenario, it would seem. And May 21st, right around the corner, certainly seems to be moving right along according to what Howard Camping seems to think about the day of being the day of judgment. Is that the case? Maybe. You know, God has been saying in the Bible for quite some time that we aren't listening down here. Maybe this is the time we need to pay attention. Maybe messages have been coming everywhere from God. Maybe those who are giving out the warnings are speaking directly from God in this regard. Again, people aren't listening. It's strange. I don't know how to deal with it. I know a lot of you aren't going to know how to deal with it because it's very frustrating, but all we can do is pray. So at that point, and in regards to prayer, we've got a few minutes left to go. Let's go ahead and close your eyes. All right. I want you to imagine right now, my friends, I want you to imagine the globe. And I want you to imagine that you are in the middle of this world. Your arms and your legs are sticking out, your head's sticking out, and this world is like the central part of your body. And I want you to think about the importance of taking care of this world in the same way that you would take care of your body. And I want you to imagine all the other people on the planet that are part of this world as well. And spread the message along that we are all in this together. We are all part of this world together. I want you to imagine sending love to each and everyone around this planet. Imagine a bubble of love around the planet, sending it down into the planet. And now imagine yourself walking along a path. And as you're walking along a path, trees fall in the way and you step over them. The wind blows and you move against it. Whatever obstacle gets in your way, you move around it smoothly and easily, effortlessly. I want you to imagine individuals in your life coming up to you today, people that you work with, friends that you know, strangers you've never met. And I want you to imagine yourself having smooth communication with each and every one of them. And now I just want to take a moment and just send out a positive message to each and every one. That we are all children of God upon this planet, wherever we are from. That we all have the ability to make a difference on this planet by connecting our consciousness, by raising ourselves to the divine knowledge that is given to us by the Creator.
90 seconds.
And that we are all evolving together along this process. Hold a good thought in your heart. Send a wish out to the world that the people on this planet open their eyes and really understand what is going on. To awake from the brainwashing, to awake from the sleep that they have been in. Hold that thought in your mind as you bring yourself back to the present moment now, slowly. On the count of 5, 5 coming back to the present moment filled with confidence. 4 coming back to the present moment filled with faith. 3 coming back to the present moment strengthened by the experiences of the past. 2 coming back to the present moment aware of who you are and what you need to do. And 1 coming back to the present moment happy, healthy, and whole. Check out your arms and your legs. That is the end of our show. It is the end of our prayer for today. Think good thoughts, my friends, as you go in the world. Times these days are crucial. We need to be kind to each other. We need to understand each other. We need to help each other stand when we see someone who has fallen. We help to support each other in opening our minds. There's a lot of things going on, but we have the capability to understand it and make a difference. So go out in the world today, my friends. Make a difference where you live. I'll be back tomorrow with Dirk. We'll talk to you then. Peace out.
What if our government was responsible for